minutes go, and a good start by Michele Alboreto. As they sprint down towards Cox, it is Berger leading, and leading at the end of lap 1. Gerhard Berger, Ayrton Senna is second, Alboreto is in third position, in fourth place is Gugelmin, fifth is Capelli, sixth is Nannini, seventh is Nigel Mansell. Race order, lap 3, Gerhard Berger leading, Senna second, Alboreto third, then Gugelmin, Capelli, Nannini, and Mansell is seventh.
Yes, and Mansell's really having a go. Mansell's always liked the wet, and Mansell's past Capelli, so Mansell really charging. These conditions, of course, will suit him to use his driving skills.
There is Gugelmin in the march in fourth, Nannini fifth, and Nigel Mansell, red 5, in the Williams Judd in sixth position, and the gap between Gugelmin and Mansell is about 2 seconds, that's all. And I think Mansell is going to get past Nannini before Nannini gets past Gugelmin.
Yes, I do too, because Nannini has always impressed me with his talent, and Mansell having a look. Mansell had a look to get inside, but what Nannini has done, not only in this race, but at Imola earlier this year and in various races this season, whilst he's impressed me with his talent, he's unimpressed me with his intelligence.
Here is Ayrton Senna coming up behind Gerhard Berger and about to lap Alain Prost. Senna passes Berger, tucks in front of the Ferrari. They both pull out to take Alain Prost and lap him, and I can tell you that while all that has been going on, there has been a change behind them, because Alessandro Nannini has been passed by both Mansell and Gugelmin. Because there is Alboreto in third place, Nannini is in fourth place, Mansell there is in fifth position, and behind Nigel Mansell in sixth place is Maurizio Gugelmin, who is dropping back. He's now 4 seconds behind Mansell. Now there is the gap, 41 seconds between Gerhard Berger in second place and Michele Alboreto there. And there is Alboreto. He's been caught by Nannini, who is right up now on the gearbox of the Ferrari, and taking him, and Mansell is getting past both of them. Oh, fantastic! Nigel Mansell is ahead of Nannini. He's up behind Alboreto, and Nannini spins. He's overdone it. Mansell has really got the red list, I'm sure, because he's had a really miserable season. He has yet to finish this year, never mind finish in the points. And when Mansell's in a fighting mood, and I remind you that he won the British Grand Prix last year, he won the British Grand Prix the year before, he's in front of his home crowd, and that must give him an extra 20 or 30 horsepower.
I tell you what, Murray, he's really enjoying himself. He's having a decent race at last.
Nigel Mansell started with Lotus with their active suspension. He did all the test work on it. He learned to loathe it. He didn't like it when Williams used it. Piquet used it first last year in winning the Italian Grand Prix. Now Mansell's back with the old firm in the form of conventional springs and shocker suspension, which gives him the feel of the car, and he's going for Alboreto. He's going for Alboreto. He's taking Alboreto. Nigel Mansell is in third position. Berger is 46 seconds ahead of Nigel Mansell. Mark that number, 46. We'll be watching it very carefully for you.
Going back to the wet weather tyre problem, the drivers who now pay attention to cooling the tyres down, looking after the compound, and that involves heading for the wet patches on the straight when they don't need grip, will have an advantage later in the race if it doesn't rain. And both these drivers are thinking, because they have both doing what I was just talking about, which was looking for the wet patches. You saw Nannini do it first by going off the line on the straight to find wet patches. You saw Mansell do it there.
And Nannini goes for it now, and through. Alessandro Nannini taking advantage of the fact that Nigel Mansell had moved across to find a wetter part of the course.
But at the moment he is the fastest man on the course, and he's taking Nigel Mansell along with him. And Mansell certainly using his head a lot. He's taking a lot of trouble to cool his tyres, and this won't help him much at the moment. But in 15 or 20 laps time, if we get no more rain, it may be a big advantage to Nigel if he's kept those tyres. And Nannini having another spin. Dear oh dear, he was always late into the corner.
That's Nannini's race unless he can keep it running, and marvellously he has succeeded in doing so, and he's now off for a little jaunt around Silverstone. to rejoin the course.
And he's going for the wet bit to cool the tyres, and quite right, this is good driving by Nigel Mansell. He's keeping away from the dry line wherever possible, trying to make the soft compound wet tyres last as long as he possibly can.
Nigel Mansell is slowly cutting into the lead that Gerhard Berger has over him. Berger in second position is now 19.7 seconds behind Ayrton Senna.
And a new fastest lap of the race by Nigel Mansell, who's still charging on and reducing the gap with Berger, but it's too big at the moment for us to get excited about it. But Mansell, as we would expect of him, giving it everything he's got.
And just watch that difference. Mansell is getting closer and closer to Gerhard Berger. It's still half a minute, but it's 2 seconds in the last lap. And we are on lap 44, so there are still 21 laps to go. And that means to say that if Mansell goes on as he is going, he not only can catch Berger in second place, but will catch Berger. And Berger has again, I can tell you, I can look along the pit lane from here, and I can tell you that Berger has again had a very strong visual pit signal from his Ferrari team. Slow, it says. There it is.
Yes, I'm sure that's to do with fuel consumption.
And the gap is tumbling down. This is really exciting. Well, the gap now is 19 seconds. Just look at it. It's come down from 35 seconds to 19 seconds.
Still sliding about a fair bit of understeer there, coming out and then doing the proper thing, heading straight for the wet patch. Mansell, of all the cars I've observed in this race, has done the best effort on keeping to the wet part to keep those tyres protected.
Indeed he is, and it's 12 seconds now. Do you remember the British Grand Prix of 1987 and how Nigel Mansell closed on Nelson Piquet after he had had his pit stop and lost 25 seconds to take the Brazilian on the 62nd lap out of 65. He's going faster and faster. Now the gap has come down from over 35 seconds to 12 seconds. There is Berger and there is Nigel Mansell, and it's certainly not 4 seconds now. Mansell has got the Ferrari in his sights. He started 11th. He was 7th at the end of the first lap. He's moved up to 6th, to 5th, to 4th, to 3rd, and very shortly, if he goes on the way he is going, on lap 50 out of 65, he's going to go up into second place. Berger, I remind you, is concerned about his fuel consumption and is being instructed lap by lap to go slower. Ayrton Senna in front of both these drivers is worried about his tyres. Should he come in? He's been told to stay out. And behind them, it is Nannini 4th, Guterman 5th, and Piquet in 6th position. This is the battle. And Mansell at club. And it's starting to rain again as Mansell goes through and nearly off and up into second position. Nigel Mansell dodges right over to the right-hand side of the track. It is in second position.
Now that's very interesting. The crowd go wild. They see Mansell in the second place. Tremendously popular stuff.
Ahead of him, Senna, 49 seconds ahead. The gap has come down a lot. It's come down by over 10 seconds between Senna in the lead on lap 61 now, and Mansell in second position, who's yet to complete his 60th lap. But it's nothing to get too aerated about, because Ayrton Senna is very clearly driving his race. And Mansell finishes in second place. Well, we've had some Grand Prix this year which have been dominated by the McLarens. They have dominated this one too, because Senna has won brilliantly. But here is the man that many people will think is the man of the day, Nigel Mansell, who is back, and he knows it. He's waving to the crowd, and the crowd wave back.